welcome to Top 5 Nintendo. My name is Jake. I'll be hosting today, and this week's episode is going to be Top 5 Mario Kart items across the Mario Kart franchise, I guess. No specific game this time, but I am hosting today's episode with my dear friend Sam. Hello, Sam.
How's it going today?
Dandy. Okay, Mario Kart is a dear franchise to me, holds a special place in my heart. I guess the first Mario Kart game I played was the Mario Kart DS, which I played religiously. I like 100% in that game, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. Getting Rob at the end was the best thing, the best I don't know, most clout worthy like thing as a kid. It also gave you like a different like a new background when the game loaded up when you 100%ed it. So everyone immediately knew like, oh, this kid's legit. Like as soon as you open the game, your friends looking over your shoulder and they see that load up screen with it has like all the characters on it. Epic gamer moment. 100% played this game always with my friends over like Nintendo's like Wi-Fi multi. I don't know. Was there like a specific name to it? The multiplayer on the DS, like the Wi-Fi, or am I just not recollecting?
I also played the DS one a bunch, and I never used the Wi-Fi for it. So I don't really remember what it was.
Okay, was it like I don't know. Whatever. It's been a while. Anyways, not the point. I always played this game with my friends. It was like all my friends had this game. We would play it constantly. This was like maybe the first. I don't know. This was like a first video game for me. Definitely not like I wouldn't say one of my first, but it's there, and it's the game I just played so much of. If the DS had the Switch feature where you could see how many hours you played a game, it might be a little embarrassing. From there, I played. I think I've played the 64 one at my cousin's house, as well as definitely the GameCube one. Although I didn't own the GameCube one, when I went to my cousin's house, we would play that sometimes. Besides that, I own the Wii one. The Wii one. That's funny. The one for the Wii, Mario Kart Wii.
Did you have the steering wheel for it?
What a silly shtick for Nintendo. I mean, it made sense.
Well, they had to do it.
It was such a selling point. I hated it. Like I don't know if I hated it. I didn't like it. The wheel. I prefer just using the nunchuck.
Sure. I feel like for people who are new to the franchise and weren't familiar with the controls, it was just such an intuitive idea that they couldn't pass on it. Definitely. And also that's just another thing they could sell. So
yeah, definitely. We definitely owned it. Maybe it came with the game when we bought the game. I don't really know. Or maybe my mom just bought it for us. But definitely prefer the nunchucks. And maybe that's just because I started, on the DS and then the GameCube. So the motion controls maybe just felt a little weird. But it definitely fit the theme of the Wii. And like you said, brought a new sense of accessibility to the game. Where anyone could just pick it up and know how to play, pretty much. Actually, I think it was a little confusing because it was like the 1 and 2 button was like to accelerate and decelerate, which like wasn't very intuitive. So like definitely had to explain that to some people when they picked it up for their first time. But anyways, I had it for a minute on the Switch, but I don't know if this game is like going out of style or what, but none of my friends wanted to play it nowadays. My college friends were too cool for Mario Kart. So I pretty much sold that and bought Smash Bros. Instead, which is a fair trade. I don't mind playing Smash Bros, but I mean, Mario Kart is so fun. I actually haven't played Mario Kart in a little bit since I sold it, but I've been playing. I mentioned to you yesterday and today a little bit. I played the Super Mario Kart on the like virtual console, which was more fun than I expected. Having never played it before, I thought it would just be like extremely difficult and like not fun, but it was pretty fun. Okay, what about you, Sam?
Well, I have to admit that I am one of those friends that you have who might not have Mario Kart be their first pick for the game to play that night. It was never like my multiplayer Nintendo game of choice. That would probably have to go to Smash Bros. And it's really just because I was never like super good at Mario Kart. I didn't have too many friends that like wanted to play it.
Yeah.
I also didn't have too many of them myself. I would rent
too many of the games or too many friends.
I didn't have enough friends. No, I didn't have too many of the games, and I guess on a similar thought, I didn't have enough friends that wanted to play it. So I would I played Double Dash for the GameCube. I would rent it at Blockbuster.
That's the name, yep.
Yes, Double Dash, and I did like that game. I thought it was a good game. It was fun having like two people to essentially be playing as.
Yeah. And you got like, was Balloon Battle on that one?
I forget.
I believe so. Yeah. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just like a fun twist that they had for it. I would rent it at Blockbuster, and
cool.
That was a fun thing to do.
That one probably got rented a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's because it's the kind of game where you can just be like, oh, like what are we gonna do tonight? Oh, what? Like we could play Double Dash. Oh, let's go to Blockbuster and just get it. And you know, it doesn't matter how much progress you made in Double Dash. Like you're just trying to race each other.
You're totally right.
Yeah. So it was fun, and I had the DS one, like you also had, and I played it a lot. I thought I 100%ed it, but I never got Rob. So
Rob is like, I think you have to get like I don't know if what metric, like 3 stars or whatever on like 150, or I think 150 was the most of the time CC, maybe 200 CC. And then I think like also mirror mode, you need like you just needed 3 stars or like the max, whatever they used. I think it's stars in like every mode pretty much, including like mirror mode and including like they had like these like time trials and like all these like silly mini games or whatever. Like you needed everything 100% pretty much. As far as I remember, it has been a while. I was a child when I did this.
Yeah.
But, Rob was the final unlockable character.
That is very interesting. Well, I'm just learning that now. I apparently did not complete the game as I thought I did. But I played a lot of it. I was a fan of the DS one, and then I kind of fell out of touch with it. I'm not a big car guy in general.
Yeah.
Is okay. The root of it all. I don't really follow cars. Like I don't know all the makes and models. I've never been a fan of like car movies, car video games. I had friends who were like really into like Forza and stuff like that. And I like driving around, in a video game, but I don't want that to be my game. I'm not super big in racing.
Okay.
So I don't need to keep complaining about it, but this is just, who I am. And then you did get me into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Switch.
Nice.
I do respect it, and I actually I went back to it in preparation for this podcast.
Cool.
And I saw it in a new light.
Awesome.
I looked up some strategies, and I have a much greater respect for the Kart franchise now. There's more to it than maybe I saw before. But it's a very much multiplayer game, and I think I'm missing out on that connection. We'll have to play together soon.
Cool. I'm so down.
Yeah. So that's about my personal history.
Yeah.
We can get into top 5 if you want now. Any other thoughts? Any fun facts?
I'm also not a fan of cars at all.
Yeah.
Or racing games or racing movies or anything, but I love Mario Kart. But that could mostly be due to like my childhood connection with the game, probably. But like you said, also there's a lot of skill that goes into it once you like understand the mechanics of the game and like little like I don't want to call them like cheats, but like there's things you could do to get like a competitive advantage against people who aren't familiar with the game.
There's
which is like another reason. Yeah, shortcuts, ways to like avoid attacks and things like that. Which is like also another reason why like my friends didn't want to play, because I would like literally get first place 100% of the time. Not to like toot my own horn, but like I'm really good at the game. And a reason why I ultimately sold it, because like, you know, I'm not gonna have like a friend come over and just kick their butt in Mario Kart, like, you know. But like Smash, maybe I could lose sometimes, maybe, like, you know.
Jake does lose sometimes. He's gonna act like he doesn't. More
against Sam, but like against casual friends, it's always fun when like I said in the previous episode we just did, I usually when I'm playing with like a newbie friend, I'll just do random for my character every time. So it's always fun to be like, it's usually them who want to keep playing to try to beat me, and I'm like, oh, we just played like 20 times, come on, like let's do something else. It's like, oh, one more, I could beat you this time. You know, after they play the same character like 20 times in a row and I'm doing random every time,
literally.
But anyway, this is not a Smash Bros episode. Mario Kart. Top 5, you want to get into it? Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
My number 5 is the lightning bolt, which, if you're not familiar, makes everyone in front of you small and a little bit slower. And for like a brief moment while you're like beginning to accelerate again. It also like halts you like when it hits you, like you spin out. And for a brief second, like, or moment after you start accelerating again, you like can't drift, which is kind of annoying as well. One of the most annoying things to get hit with, one of the best things to use against your opponents, because you just, you know, you're like 10 times the size of everyone else, and you're just flying right by everyone, faster than them, bigger than them, etc. Also, it's so hilarious to hit one of your friends, kind of mean, maybe not hilarious, but to hit one of your friends with this while they like are jumping over, you know, like a ramp or whatever, over an area where like there's no track beneath them,
and they fall right to the bottom.
They fall down. Hilarious.
Yeah, that is funny. It's mean, but it's mostly funny.
Again, like the worst thing to get hit with, the best thing to use. Why did I write this?
What'd you say?
In my notes, I wrote, it's the most socialist item.
The most socialist.
Where is I going with this?
Yeah, you definitely.
I mean, I guess it's like
that's a 1 a.m. thought you just had.
It's definitely a 1 a.m. thought. I definitely like felt really. I don't know. Maybe I think I probably meant because it hits equality. Everyone. It doesn't discriminate. Everyone in front of you is small. Not literally everyone. The people behind you, it does not hit.
I actually understand what you're saying exactly, because how a lot of the items work in this game is it on like a power scale, where like if you're in the front, you might not get access to the blue shell.
Yeah.
But there's no like tier in ranking for the lightning bolt. You get the lightning bolt, it works on everyone else, just all the same. Sure.
That's probably where I was going with it. Okay. That's funny that I wrote that though.
It's a very funny thing to say.
Yeah, I usually take these notes like very late at night, so it doesn't always make sense the next day.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm shocked that lightning.
Shocked. Huh?
I am completely shocked that it was that it was number 5 on your list, just because it's such a good item.
You thought it'd be higher up?
I thought it would be higher. I thought it'd be way higher. I saw this maybe even being like a number 1 pick. I won't say anything about where I had it. I could see it, you giving it a higher score. So I'm now particularly interested, because everything else is every item that you say now is gonna be like the one that's even better than lightning.
Maybe, maybe it's so low on my list because I'm usually in first, second place, maybe sometimes third, where you don't usually get the lightning bolt.
Sure.
So I don't have as much experience with it, and to me it feels a little bit like cheating when you get it, because you just fly by everyone else. Yeah, I mean, it's so good, it's very powerful, but the fact that you had it means you were in like a bottom tier place. you know what I mean? You were like probably in like probably middle tier, like like 4th to like 8th place maybe, like depending on the game.
There's a couple items that are like that, like the spiky shell.
Which, like, to me, I don't want to be there. I don't want the lightning bolt. Like, right. I don't want to be in that position to begin with.
So you're biased. This is actually you retaliating against the lightning bolt by giving it such a low ranking.
In a sense.
This is you being like, Nintendo, take away the lightning bolt. It feels a little
cheap. I mean, I don't, like, you might bring it up. It's an honorable mention for me, but Bullet Bill is not on my list because it feels so like you're cheating, like you're not playing the game, you're just flying by everyone.
Well,
and then Bullet Bill, like, especially like you're in like last place if you have Bullet Bill, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like it's awesome to use Bullet Bill. It feels exhilarating, but it's like you didn't earn that 5th place, you know, at the end of your your item.
Well, I'm starting to take it personally, and we're gonna use that to transition into my number 5 pick. We'll come back to lightning when I say mine. But my number 5 pick is Bullet Bill.
Okay. It's an honorable.
You basically said why I picked it.
I'm sorry.
I've come to learn that if you're playing a game and the thing you use feels like you're cheating, use it a lot. Right. Okay. And because if the game developers want to get rid of it, they will get rid of it.
Yeah, it's been
That's
there.
That's how I see it.
Yep. It's always been there.
It's always been there. They think it works. If you want to play the game, use Bullet Bill. So it's exactly. It feels like you're cheating. You get it. It just puts you ahead in a place. Now, the one thing about Bullet Bill is that, let's say, you know, if you're in first place, you're not getting Bullet Bill, right? You're in second place. I don't think you're getting Bullet Bill either. It's really for like the further back places to put you.
It's definitely the bottom tier,
more in the middle, and there's not necessarily like a way to use it strategically. I feel like it's in between like an offensive defensive item. Go ahead.
On the Wii and maybe on the Switch, you could somewhat control left and right where you go, and you can, like you said, it's a little. Like, you could try to hit people with it, which does, like, I respect that a lot more than, like, I believe on the DS, you just hit the button and then you let go of your DS.
And just take a nap.
For 10, 15 seconds or whatever. Probably not that long, actually, but it feels that long, you know, when you're playing. But yeah, I mean, at least if you could control it a little bit, you could try to hit people. That adds to it. The best thing is when you like get blue shelled or whatever, and then you're in like 7th place all of a sudden, and you just so happen to get the Bullet Bill, and then you're back in like 3rd place, and you use it in like 3rd place, and then you're just a mile ahead of everyone.
Yep.
Which is like really cheating.
See, now you're admitting how good it is.
I'm saying that's like high key cheating. Like that, you're a coward if you do that.
Just how I like it. I won't bring this back to Pokemon. I really want to. It's okay. I'll make the analogy. It's like using legendaries in a Pokemon battle, right? Some people have that same way of thinking where it's like, oh, well, isn't it kind of cheating? I mean, that's the legend of Pokemon. You only get one per game. They must be really good. And what I always say in that conversation is, if the developers think this Pokemon is too good, it won't be in the next one. They'll ban it.
Okay.
They'll ban it in competitive. Like, it's there for a reason. They want you to use it. They clearly made ways around it. Just got to figure them out.
Okay.
Is how I see it. But yeah, no, Bullet Bill is really good and doesn't take any skill to use. I get that part. That's why it's number 5.
Okay, cool. My number 4 is the triple red shell. And we discussed if we should make a distinction between the single and triple. I think so. They're different items at the end of the day. My like argument for separating them was like, I would want a triple green shell maybe, but I don't want a single green shell, because the triple you could use as a shield. The single you could somewhat use as a shield, but not quite the same way. But yeah, anyway, triple red shell is my number 4. It's obviously better than the green shell because it locks onto players, requires little skill in hitting someone. Although in the newer games, it is easier for these red shells to hit obstacles instead of a player. So it does require a little more skill in like the deliverance of the shell, like, you know, timing it right so there's no obstructions between you and the player you want to hit. where like on the DS it was like pretty unavoidable. If there's a you hear that sound behind you, you're done. Like you're just full panic mode. At the same time, you could hold it behind you to block attacks, and it could you could get it closer to the front of the pack. Reading my list now, I think there is inherent bias, or like I'm enjoying the items you get near the front more. It's unlikely to get a triple red shell. Again, depending on the game, there are like data behind this, but depending on the game, it's possible to get it near the front. Unlikely, but you can. I don't know. Not much more to say. It's pretty straightforward. It's fun to hit people with the red shell. Seeing that panic in your friend's eyes, or like when you're sitting on the couch together and you throw a red shell and you ride past them and go, got you, whatever. Like, it's a fun time. If you're the one launching it.
I would agree. I have triple red shell.
Nice.
Just a little bit ahead of you.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what I think of it when we get there.
Okay.
But in the meantime, my number 4 pick is the golden mushroom.
Nice.
The golden mushroom is obviously a great item. They let you know that it's golden. It does what the mushroom does. So you have that strategy of like using that speed boost when you need to, maybe to get to the shortcut, you do the speed boost at the right time. And you can control it, and you have many uses with it. I'm not sure how many uses you get out of the golden mushroom.
I think it's timed, not like how many times you actually hit it.
Right.
That might differ depending on games, but as far as I could tell, I'm pretty sure it's just timed. Yeah. I don't know the exact time either, though.
Yeah, so it's like that, and you do get a lot of uses out of it, and it can put you way ahead. You can, you're not just like, oh gosh, like I'm going so fast, like I really didn't want to go this fast around the corner. Like you can kind of like use the boost, take the corner, use the boost again. So it's not like the bullet bill situation.
You're speaking as a gamer though.
Okay.
Because I've had many a friend who is like using it and just spamming it and then running into every wall with it and like, oh, this is so annoying. Like I hate this item. You use it tactfully, which is how it's meant to be.
So yes, I am a genius gamer, and that is why I gave it the 4th pick. That's the cool thing about the golden mushroom is that for newer players, you can just kind of spam it, and for more strategic carters, you can use it like that. You can use the boosts at the certain spots to get to have it play to your advantage. It's not necessarily a defensive item. I think you can like maybe avoid a bomb with it by playing your cards right.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, you could definitely outpace a bomb that someone throws at you. I think you might be able to outrun a red shell. Sure. Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Also, maybe depending on the game, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So in that sense, there are a few defensive qualities to it, but it's very much just a quick way to get ahead. Is how I see the golden mushroom. It's a good item. Yeah,
I respect it. It's not on my list, but again, because it feels kind of like a cheat, but I respect it. I do have, the triple mushroom somewhere on my list, so I'll speak on mushrooms later.
You have the triple mushroom ahead of golden mushroom.
I think, well, like I said, the golden mushroom feels a little bit like a cheat.
What is going on in your head?
The triple mushroom, when I get a triple mushroom, my head fills with joy, thinking about how I'm going to use these 3 mushrooms I was given in the best, like, optimal way. Where the and it doesn't run out based on time.
Sure.
Where the golden mushroom is you have to just use it. You have it, just use it, The triple mushroom, you save it for the perfect moment, and it could really do wonders in your overall game, if you use it optimally. I'll speak on that later.
So, no, that is fair. I the whole time thing that you're not on a time budget with the 3 mushrooms. That's valid. Okay. Well, I won't shame you then.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
How kind.
Yes.
I will say my number 3 and then we'll get to the break.
Sounds good.
Okay, my number 3 was the fake item box, which was, I think, introduced on the 64 and continued through the Wii, but was not on the Wii or the Switch.
Oh, okay. Because I don't remember the fake item box. Was that DS?
It was on the DS.
Okay.
And for those of you who are not aware, the fake item box looks different in different games, but generally is an item box, but it's like all red, so it's like evil or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like you could identify it as a different box, but it's also like I know like on the Wii it also like had a texture to it, like a moving texture. So it like, you know how the item boxes like change colors or whatever. So it's not always apparent. I think maybe even on the DS, it wasn't even red until you got close to it. But anyways, depending on the game, it's like it differs in how easy it is to identify. And it's another just one of those like hilarious items where like essentially I think the optimal use of this is to like hold it behind you and then place it down right when you go drive through an actual item box. So now you have a fake item box on top of a real item box, which makes it even harder to identify if you time it correctly. And then people think they're like, you know, running into the item box, and they just they do run into the item box, but they also run into the fake item box and get devoured by it. So I think that's like the funniest thing. It's like, you know, if there's one item box by itself, like the fake item box, if you just dropped it, no one's gonna fall for that. If you put it like on a ramp where it's like unavoidable, maybe like someone would accidentally hit it. But if you time this correctly on top of a real item box, you're just a pro. That's a pro gamer move.
Yeah.
I miss this item. It's not on the Switch, but it is kind of silly. I see why they got rid of it. It was in quite a few. I mean, it's been there, I believe, since the 64, but definitely at least since the DS. So it's been there for a while. It had its run. Good times. I guess Nintendo moved on, whatever. See what else? I'm looking at my notes in case I missed anything. Okay, and it's usually given to 5th place and above. The highest chance is actually, okay, so on the Wii, I actually did like put down some data on this item because I enjoy it so much. On the Wii, you have a 17.5% chance of getting it when you're in 1st place. So again, maybe that's why I like it. I probably got it a lot.
This is the most biased list of our podcast history so far.
It might be correct, but it was called the surprise block in Japan and Spain, which is a pretty apt name for it. I could get behind it. The fake item box doesn't roll off your tongue as well as the surprise block. Which, I mean, again, if you use it optimally under the real item, it is a surprise. So it's kind of hilarious. But I wish they called it the surprise box in the United States, but fake item box, whatever. That's my number 3. Probably not on your list, but yeah. Let's go to break. Let's go to break, guys. Be right back.
Hey, this is TC.
And this is Jim from the Studio Demands It podcast,
where every episode we take a demand from a hypothetical studio,
which could be you,
and challenge ourselves to conceptualize, pitch, and craft a film based on the stipulations
or the demands
we are given. We talk about movies all the time. Particularly, we complain about the choices made in the films we've seen.
We're nerds like that.
And, of course, like any good nerd does, we automatically assume that we could do better.
Even with the demands and restrictions that clearly must have been put on by a production.
So head on over to studiodemandsit.com and listen to our previous library of episodes. Our library of previous episodes. Our precious library, Jim. Our library of precious episodes.
You're a pirate, Smeagol.
Okay. So head on over to studiodemandsit.com to listen to our library of episodes.
And submit your demand for a future episode, too.
So go do that.
Okay, bye.
Okay, end of ad.
Welcome to our new podcast. Welcome to our new podcast.
This isn't working.
Agreed. I think we're going to have to do it turn by turn.
Well, now that you mention it, we are a brand new RPG video game podcast.
Our very existence hinges on turn-based gaming.
So join us on the Turn by Turn podcast, where we'll be talking about
Pokemon, Fire Emblem, Golden Sun, Shining Force, Mother, and so many more.
It's your turn to come and join us.
Yo, we are back. Top 5 Mario Kart items. Let's do it.
I heard you have some fun facts for us, Jake.
Yes, sir, I do. You know me and my fun facts. Did you know that originally Mario Kart was just going to be a racing game with no like Nintendo characters in it? But it was a racing game that was different from the racing games at the time in that like Mario Kart has some pretty wonky track shapes. Like these aren't like traditional racing tracks, of course. So they had the person who designed like the original characters for like the demos of the game or whatever, the like main character kind of looked like Mario. So they're like, oh, so here's the thing. They thought it looked really cool. Oh, okay. Let me back up a little bit. This wasn't even a racing game at first. It was just like you just drove a car around, like a I don't know racing terms or whatever. But they thought it looked really cool when like your friend drove past you. You know what I mean? Like they thought it looked cool to have like this car driving past you. Like 3D gaming was like kind of new at the time. So they were like, wouldn't it? So that's how they decided to do racing. But then they were like, wouldn't it be cooler if it was Mario sitting in that car, right? And the character they already had developed, like from the design team, kind of looked like Mario already. So like Iwata was on this team. I just read like this Iwata book, and he was like, I mean, he was like I don't know, he might have been like the producer of this game. I don't know his exact role, but he was saying like, wouldn't it be cool if Mario was in this? And then like. He kind of like joked that like, oh, maybe the original designer intended that, like wanted us to put Mario in it all along, but it worked out, and now we have Mario Kart.
Well, that's a similar story to the Smash Bros. Inception.
Yeah. It was supposed to be just like a fighter.
It was just gonna be fighters, and it was like stock like characters with one color, and then they were like, yeah, I'll just make it be Mario.
Yeah, and it worked out.
It works, yeah.
Like Smash Bros was a bit of an issue with like Mario Kart too, but not as much. But like how like canon these characters were to like their individual timelines, like coming into like that was kind of a big thing at the time. Like, so was Mario Kart with like, it was weird for people to see like Bowser and Donkey Kong like racing alongside Mario and Toad or whatever.
Right.
But so in the original Mario Kart they like made it so like, I don't know, like only a few characters had like taunts, and it was like I think like Mario and Bowser and like I don't know, maybe one other character had like a taunt where like they were kind of like Bowser was like aggressive and whatever. So they tried to make it like a little kind of canon, and it was also in like Mushroom Kingdom, like all the whatever. Okay. My other fun fact was that this is Mario Kart. The Mario Kart franchise is one of an elite list of franchises selling over 100 million copies.
Amazing.
So that's pretty cool. We keep talking of not we, but like the Nintendo community keeps talking about like how Mario Kart 8 like was just ported like from the Wii U essentially for the Switch, and like how the Switch doesn't have its own Mario Kart game, which like pretty much. Not even pretty much every console has its own Mario Kart game. So like, where is it? They really have no reason to. Like, Deluxe nailed everything in the Mario Kart franchise, and it still like sells out places. You know what I mean? Like they're selling copies. Don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah.
But it might come. I don't know. Maybe, especially maybe with a new Switch, there might be a new Mario, like a Switch Deluxe or whatever. We'll see what happens. But I'm not too keen on it. I think Deluxe nails everything, you know?
Yeah, I could see a situation where when the new Switch comes out, they might make it for the Switch, but also immediately port it over.
The Deluxe Plus.
Yeah.
Mario Kart Deluxe 8 Plus. Whatever. No, I'm joking.
We're calling it now.
The Super Mario. No, okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's an overdone joke. All right.
I think it's my number 3 pick now.
Yes.
Well, my number 3 pick was the triple red shell.
Nice.
Yes, I would agree with you. I guess we got it pretty close. Yours was at 4. Mine is at 3. It's a really great item, especially when you use it thoughtfully. Mm-hmm. When you get the triple red, you don't want to just shoot them all in one go.
Man.
Yeah. You can't do that. I mean, sometimes you might use it, but how I see it's best operated is it's a really defensive item. Honestly, you basically have this ring of protection around you, and then if you're if you're in 3rd place or something, boom, then you get to 1st place and you got another shell of protection, or you could fire it back too. So there's lots of different ways to use it offensively, defensively, and the red shell is such a scary item already. I don't want to get hit by it. I definitely want to use it. It's just like a tier behind the blue spiky shell. But the spiky shell, like I said before, you really aren't getting that anywhere except for way back. Right. So you can't depend on it. It's just not a dependable item. The triple red, you can take that anywhere and it will benefit you. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I agree about when you get this item, it's a defensive item, but also once you use the first one and definitely the second one, you only have 1 red shell spinning around you, so it feels kind of random. Where I don't like using that defensively because it might, if it happens to spin behind you, you know what I mean? It spins in circles around you, so if it has to be behind you, when a shell hits you, or it has to be on the right angle to defend you. So I don't really like relying on that when there's only 1 left. As a defensive item, I'd rather just use it as an offensive item. But yeah. I mean, you pretty much nailed it. I already spoke on it. Not much else to say, I guess. Unless you got anything.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm so bad at Mario Kart that I wish I could offer other smarter ways to use the triple red. But I think it's a pretty intuitive item. You have 3 of one of the best items.
Right.
Use it however you feel like using it. It's gonna get you at least one ranking higher.
At least,
at least. So yeah, that's all there is to it.
Cool.
I am so interested to hear who the 2 and 1 are that are just crowning above the lightning.
Well, the aforementioned triple mushroom is my number 2.
Okay.
So I spoke on it a little bit, but so here's where I'll get into the strategy of it. Like I said, the golden mushroom, you kind of just spam and whatever. There's not much strategy to it, especially because it's timed. But being able to hold on to a triple mushroom lets you think strategically about it. So my ideal use of a mushroom is to cut through a grass area, where the grass would usually slow you down and you never want to drive on the grass. But if you cut through the grass with a mushroom, you would just cut off a corner of the track that all your opponents had to race around. So that really puts you at a huge advantage, especially if you time it on when I was really into this game, I knew every map the back of my hand. I knew exactly where I was going to use the mushroom if I got a mushroom, even if it was just 1 mushroom, let alone 3 mushrooms. Okay, so here's the thing: when you're trying to 100% the game, when you're on 150cc, you need to use these mushrooms correctly. With the time trials, they actually start you. There's no items because you're racing against a ghost, but it starts you with 3 mushrooms. So I pretty much know when to use the mushrooms on every map, or at least I did in my prime. So yeah, there's a lot of strategy that goes into these mushrooms. I mean, you could just use them to move on a straight stretch, and that'll definitely help you. But if you use them strategically to go through grass, sometimes there's like speed ramps if you go on the grass. So you want to like mushroom through the grass onto the speed ramp, you know what I mean? And then you get an extra boost that doesn't even use another one of your mushrooms. Whatever. There's a lot of different ways to use it. Sometimes there's shortcuts that are only accessible with the use of a mushroom off a ramp or something like that. So yeah, a lot of strategy. I respect the triple mushroom in a huge way. It's not on a lot of the top 5 or top 10 item lists that I've seen while prepping this episode, which I guess makes this a bit of a bold choice, especially like you said with the golden mushroom being an option. But I don't know. I feel pretty confident in having it at number 2. I love it. It's definitely one of my favorite items. 2 people had... I can't read my own. I remember reading about this. I wrote it down. Okay, apparently... So if you use a mushroom into somebody else, I don't know if this is all the games or... I don't know. If you use a mushroom into somebody else, it gives them a speed boost as well. Yeah, I don't know the specifics of this, but I mean I read about it and I wrote it down. But so apparently, like if you keep going into each other back and forth, you could like speed boost infinitely. I've never done this. I'm not too sure on the specifics of it. Maybe if you're like really into Mario Kart, Google it. I don't know. I mean, I thought I was really into Mario Kart, but I don't know about this. I've never done this. It seems pretty cool if you're playing with a friend. Also, I mean, it seems like it's something you would do once and then be like, cool.
Yeah,
and that's that.
Just know about it.
That's what I have on the triple mushroom. I'm guessing it's not on your list.
No, certainly not. I do not have your skills, so I don't know when to use the triple mushroom efficiently. So I would much rather have the timed golden mushroom and be able to just immediately
spam that.
Spam it wisely. Whereas the triple mushroom, I'm just like, I'd probably go boost in the same, but to the same rhythm I would do golden mushroom.
Okay.
Rather at number 2, I
Blue shell.
have the lightning. So I have to honorable mention the blue shell.
It's not on your list.
I've literally talked about it like for every number just to reference it.
Okay.
Here's the thing that it was originally on my list, and then preparing for the episode, I had realized that while it is very effective, here's the thing, right? You got to be like pretty far back to use it. You use it. All right. You take out one guy for sure. At least one guy for sure. It doesn't have as great defensive properties. It kind of has like a threshold of how offensive it can get. So it's very good for what it is, but it doesn't get much higher than that is how I see it. But I do want to honorable mention it because it's like a super easy item to use, and it'll always at least benefit you from using it.
Yeah. I see what you mean. It's not on my list, but some like again, not to keep saying it, but I'm usually in first place, so I'm hit with this thing a lot. So being hit with it a lot, I kind of gain some strategies of how to use that to my advantage. So a lot of times when I'm in first place, generally when you're in first place, you're a good stretch ahead of everyone. So I'll oftentimes hit my brakes when I hear it coming, or even better, if I'm playing with friends and they go, "Oh, Jake, blue shell is coming, ha ha ha," and like they're just giving me intel that I could use to my advantage, because now I'm hitting my brakes. I'm getting in the cluster of like second, third, fourth place, so everyone gets hit. So if I'm going down, everyone else is going down with me. So I like to use that blue shell to my advantage, even if I'm being hit with it. Which again, like speaks on the like strategic part of Mario Kart, which like probably not many people get really into. But
right, and then also, at least for 8 Deluxe, can't you use the microphone boom?
Yeah,
when the spike.
That's an honorable mention for me. Sure. Not on my list, but no, go ahead. Yeah, explain it.
Yeah, well, that's another way around the blue spiky undefeatable shell is that if you time it right when it's coming, you can use that microphone.
The super horn.
The super horn. Thank you. I knew that wasn't the right name. You can use the super horn, and it will basically shoot the shell away from you, and you will remain untouched.
Yeah. That was an honorable for me. I love the super horn for its defensive properties. Like for that reason specifically, but I mean, you could also use that against any shell that's coming at you. It's harder to time with red shells, but it's possible. I don't think you could use it. Yeah. I'm pretty confident you can't use it with the ink, which is really annoying. Because like intuitively, you would think you could use it against like the ink guy, the squid,
right? Because the water makes the ink go away.
You
would think you could air it away. I don't know.
Right, but no, not even when it's on you. I'm saying like when it's floating over you, about to ink you, you would think you could push it away.
Oh yeah.
But no, you can't. But anyway, the blue shell, while we're talking about it, since it's on neither of our lists, I just had a fun fact written down. It was actually originally created to eliminate the cluster that's usually like 5th through 1st place, because that like utilized too much RAM for like these earlier consoles, like the first couple of games that like wasn't really capable, like it might glitch out the game or slow it down or lag or whatever the correct terminology is. But it pretty much was like created so that those clusters like dispersed, so there wouldn't be all those people. Like it's like obviously also when it hits you, it like pushes everyone in every direction. It doesn't just like spin you out. So like that was the idea of it, and it became like an integral part of the game, even though that's no longer necessary. Like it existed in every Mario Kart game since then.
Nice. Yeah, no, those are good honorable mentions. They all really could have fit on the top 5. I feel like there's a couple like not great items, and then there's a couple really amazing items, and they all kind of deserve their own spot, and you just can't fit them all.
Wait, were you about to say your second?
About to say my second.
Okay.
We were just having so much fun naming the ones that weren't in our top 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, my last honorable before we get to that,
please share.
Was the PAL box, which is, I don't know if it was on the Wii, but it was definitely on the DS. I don't know if it was on any of the games before that, but the PAL box, the only note I had, and I'll leave it at this, is I just wrote mess up everyone's day. Okay, go into it. Number 2.
Thank you for that. And my number 2 is the lightning, and honestly, it is for the exact reasons that you had it at number 5. It's overpowered. Yeah. I mean, you wanted to cheer on, I guess, the underdogs or something, but I was not the case. I welcome its overpoweredness. So how I see its utility is that you, like you said, you just take out everyone for sure. Like everyone gets hit. It's very easy to use. You use the lightning and everyone's down, right? So it works. It's a very offensive item, and I mean, it doesn't require as much like timing, but you can use the timing, like you said. When they're in the air, you could take them out. So there are different ways to use it like that, but it's just a very safe and efficient item, more so than I could say for many of the others. Yeah,
I mean, adding to its defensive features, if you're holding on to bananas or like a ring of shells around you, the triple shells, it like if you get hit with the lightning, it also makes you drop those items. So it also like disarms anyone in front of you.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, we already spoke a lot about it. Yeah. Do you have anything else, or that's pretty much it?
I mean, yeah, like that's how I use it. I feel like there's not as many ways to use this item differently. It's just a very safe choice. So that's all I got for my number 2 pick.
Cool. All right, you ready for number 1?
I'm very nervous. I'm just going to imagine this being number 1 and lightning being number 5, but please tell me.
This is controversial, I think, as well, but the Bob-omb is my number 1. I love using it. It is the most satisfying thing when you hit a friend with this thing.
That's very much a gamer's choice, having this at number 1.
Yeah. There is I believe there's a bit of skill that goes into it. A red shell you just launch, but a Bob-omb, not like you could throw it in front of you, but you could also drop it behind you. And like it require like the blast radius isn't as big as the blue shell, so it does require a bit of skill to place this thing, to time it correctly. I don't know if this is all the games. It's hard to recall offhand, but like I think it's in some of the games, if you hold it behind you too long, like it blows. It's like a time bomb kind of. I don't know if that's all the games, but so yeah, it requires skill and timing and placement, which makes it all the more satisfying. Okay, I don't know. I would say like hitting someone with a green shell is the most satisfying.
Yes,
so that's so hard.
Hitting someone with a green shell while they're in the air is the move.
Yeah. That's difficult, but the bomb, I feel like I've gotten pretty good with, and it's so satisfying.
Yeah, well, that's not to discredit its blast radius, which is it's usable. Like you can rely a little bit on its spread. Especially if it's a corner that is maybe a tighter.
Or even just dropping it like where all the items are, where everyone but will drive through.
Right, and that can work defensively. Like keep them from getting the items.
Yeah, that's true.
You're safer that way. It is a strategic item. It's a very strategic item, the bomb, and I'm trying to think of the other ways to use it. And just because I'm such a novice, like they're escaping me. I think there's a blow away shells.
Does a blow away? Yeah. Actually, right. So that's another thing with so if you have a red shell coming at you, if you like drop it right before the red shell hits you, again, like that's kind of hard to time because you can't usually see behind you. But it'll blow up the bomb and it won't hit you. But also, if you're holding it behind you and someone runs into you from behind, they'll blow up. You won't. I think that's all the games, but I could be like overseeing something here. But yeah. So it does have its defensive features as well. Requires skill. It's a rare item to receive to begin with. It has like all the qualities I'm looking for in an item in Mario Kart. So mad respect to the bomb. Also, Scott Pilgrim. You know,
I know. I was thinking whether I wanted to bring that up.
We don't have to say the name of the band, but it's named after the bomb, which is awesome.
Yes, yeah, that's a great reference. So I'll tell you what. The bomb is not anywhere on my list, and that's just because it doesn't really fit with my play style particularly well.
Okay,
because I'm so bad at like aiming and throwing the items. Yeah. Like I prefer to have
enough to worry about.
Yeah. I know. I prefer to just have like, a triple item, floating around me, defending me, maybe to use them. I have enough to worry about, like you said. So it's not just why it's not on my list, but I respect how other people can use it very efficiently, and I won't argue against it. I really can't shame you.
I will say it is so risky to throw this thing in front of you because you're like eternally embarrassed if you hit yourself with it. Like there's no coming back from that. You have this
great item and you literally just hit yourself with it.
Yeah, so that's risky, but add to the excitement of using it. Like, if you're in second place and your friend's right in front of you, you're throwing that risk,
Right. It's the it works similarly with the Legend of Zelda games when you have the bomb, right?
Or is in the sense that like you could bomb yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. You could definitely bomb yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different bombs in different games, but I know you didn't. Did you play Majora's Mask?
Did not.
Okay, yeah. There's a bomb mask in Majora's Mask where like it is like unlimited bombs, but it does a little bit of damage each time you use it. So yeah, same idea, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just I like to pick out the crossover themes of Nintendo games because they exist. You have to find them.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go to my number one pick.
Let's do it.
I cannot believe you did not have the star anywhere on your list.
It's a cheat. It's a straight up cheat. I said Bullet Bill is a cheat. The star is just straight up a cheat code.
You have the wrongest like top 5. Like I don't even know how we're gonna. I feel like
the star is ridiculous. You know what I would put before the star? I would put the King Mushroom or Giant Mushroom or whatever from like the DS or the Wii. I don't even remember. Like the stupidest item. Like
so, basically, Jake is telling exactly why the number 1 belongs in number 1.
Zero skill.
Zero skill. It's ridiculous. So it is the perfect defensive item, right? Like like there's simply not a more defensive item, even if you use a different item more wisely.
Okay.
Because the star just does everything you need a defensive item to do.
There's no arguing with that.
Right. And sure, offensively, there might be slightly more to be desired, right? But
I don't even think so.
You don't even think so?
I think okay, I mean, some items like the piranha plant or whatever could reach out to the side, which the star cannot.
Yeah.
But the star is just destroying absolutely everything.
So Jake is further validating me being
even in
more
some
right than
games, it'll let you like knock out roadblocks and stuff, like pipes in the middle of the road and whatever, which is so ridiculous.
Let the record show for when Jake doesn't let me have this be number 1 that he is arguing for me. He has argued for me at this point. Exactly. Jake is telling it how it is. Offensively, you knock everyone out of the way. It's basically a cheat code. That's really like how it is. It's an item from the the Super Mario series, and it really does the same thing. I mean, it's the best item in the Super Mario Bros. It's the best item in Kart, and they did it on purpose. It's really supposed to be just your golden ticket for success, and it'd be silly to have anything above it. I mean,
well, the star usually you get in the back of the pack, so even if you have it, you're probably not ending up in first place when you use it. You'll get to like the front or middle at least, but it's not a ticket to first place by any means. So I don't know, when you have the most powerful item in the game and it's still not even bringing you to first place, it feels kind of silly. And then you kind of just feel like a silly guy using it with your friends and still being in 5th place at the end of the day.
Well, no item really guarantees you first place.
Exactly. That's why I'm relying on skill, not cheat codes.
Right. See, but to be fair, you can use the star and also be a skillful player. I mean,
you can go through the grass. I respect that.
Yeah. So, and also the items are given to you, right? You're not picking them. You can't really.
If you're in last place, you're pretty much getting a bullet bill or a star.
But they're given to you, right? You know, it's just the nature of Kart is that you can't talk poorly on someone who was given the bullet bill, given the star, and you really have to use it once you have it. Okay. So it's not any question of the player's character whether they have the star. I
agree.
And it would be unwise to not use the star to its fullest ability.
I would use it.
So I really cannot relate to your sentiment in any way whatsoever.
I'll go so far as to admit that when I was younger and I got...
the truth comes out again. All right, let's hear the truth.
When I was younger and would get blue shelled or whatever, and end up in 5th place and just get really upset, I would sometimes not accelerate and just let people pass me so that I would end up in 10th, 11th, maybe, I probably wouldn't want 12th place, but 10th or 11th place so that I'm more likely to just get a bullet bill or a star and then wreck everyone, just rage through everyone, because that's how upset I was that I just lost first place.
So Jake has some unresolved childhood trauma.
But this is strategic, though. This is strategic play to purposely put yourself in a disadvantageous position so that you get these items, not just being so bad at the game that it feels bad for you and gives you a bullet bill or a star.
I think Jake has an unresolved issue with maybe someone beat him using the bullet bill or the star, and
I probably got finish line beat by a bullet bill once or twice in my day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's what it's really sounding like right now. Okay. Well, let's duke it out. I think we're gonna have
we have like opposite ones.
We're gonna have a very hard time coming together with this one, and I can't really say I'm looking forward to it. But we should agree that the star belongs on the list. I mean, it would be really silly to not say this is the best item, if not the top 3 best items. You know well enough as a Mario Kart player how good of it's it's best items list, right?
Yeah, I'll give it like a 4 at most.
You're gonna give it a 4. Why? Because you're upset of how good it is.
No,
let the record show he's upset at how good it is, and he does not want it to be any higher.
It's better than the Bulletville. I'll give it that.
It is.
But there's little skill required still.
That is
to use it.
That's what makes it good. In fairness, right? It's not best trick shot
Let's
items.
come back to this.
Okay.
Let's do some easier ones.
Okay, lightning. We both have lightning on here.
Lightning's my number 5. What was it for you?
It was 2 for me, and it absolutely deserves higher than 5 because it is so useful.
What would you think would be 5?
I could do golden mushroom at 5.
Fine, I could get behind that. Okay, number 5, golden mushroom. You had the triple red shell at what, 3?
At 3.
Let's leave it at 3. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So golden mushroom 5, triple red shell 3. You didn't have a triple mushroom on your list.
Yeah, I didn't really, just because I saw the golden mushroom is better. Like I was saying, I hear your point and I see how you could use it. I really think that there are better items above the triple mushroom.
Could we do star 4, Bob-omb 2?
Cannot believe I'm dealing with this stuff.
What would be 1? What did you have on your list?
I had star as my number 1 just because it's obviously the best item. That's like
crud. This is hard. What could we agree would be number 1? I'd be fine with like triple mushroom, triple red shell, number 1.
All right, how about this?
Neither of us said a banana, by the way. That's interesting.
It was between triple red shell and triple banana. I was
definitely red shell.
Yeah,
but I'll say not to get back into it, but now that I think about it, maybe they got rid of the fake item box or the surprise what do you call it? The surprise block because of the bananas. Like it's the same item pretty much, but the surprise block, which I'm gonna call it for now on, is just kind of a little cheaper to use.
Sure.
Anyways,
so I'm gonna mix it up a little further. So we agreed at triple red number 3.
Sure.
What if we did triple red at number 1 and had star at number 3?
Okay. Bob-omb 2.
Bob-omb 2.
What's 4? Shell.
So triple red.
Wait. Triple red shell's number 1.
Yes.
Bob-omb 2, star 3. What's number 4? What did we say was number 5?
Number 5 was the golden mushroom.
The golden mushroom. What's 4 then?
So I'd say it has to be lightning at least, right?
Okay. What was I saying? I know I just asked this, but what was number 5?
Number 5 is golden mushroom.
Okay, number 5, golden mushroom. This is a top 5 list, by the way, guys. So listen up. Number 5, golden mushroom. Number 4, lightning bolt. Number 3, we said was the star.
Yes.
Okay. Number 3, star. Whatever. Number 2, Bob-omb. Number 1, triple red shell.
The triple red shell.
I'll take it. That's a well-rounded list. There you have it, folks. The top 5 Mario Kart items, transcending all the games in the franchise. All right, whatever. I'll take it. Let's round it out. I guess we're talking about our socials nowadays. So if you want to find my personal socials, whatever, like mainly at Instagram, I guess, but I don't really use it. But feel free at Jake Naroden, Naroden. Rewind that if you need me to spell it again. Sam, go ahead.
And my Instagram handle is Sam__ANSA.
Awesome. And Top 5 Nintendo is on Twitter and possibly also at this point Instagram and Facebook and whatever else maybe. But definitely Twitter at Top 5 Nintendo, the number 5, not spelled out, at Top 5 Nintendo. You can shoot us an email at top5nintendopod@gmail.com. That is top5nintendopod@gmail.com. You can listen to all of our other episodes thus far on like Spotify and Apple Music and iTunes maybe, and I don't know where else you listen to podcasts. Cool. Thanks, guys. This was fun. This was a cool one. Mario Kart top 5 items. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Peace out.